all, it's May here. I've seen a lot of videos recently where everyone does their best of K-beauty of 2017, always near the end of the year obviously. And I wanted to do something similar, but instead of showing you all the best, like my K-beauty favorites, I saved up all the items I finished this year, and I'm going to show them to you guys in this video and tell you my thoughts about them. Obviously, because I finished them all, I did like them, but I'm not like a intense hoarder type of person, so I try to use up everything even though I'm not like 100% into it. So yeah, I will try to do it somehow in the 10-step routine kind of way, so you can see how I've liked these products and how well they work for me. So let's get into the first category, which is cleansers. Before the cleanser, I actually want to show you this one, which is the Apieu Mineral Sweet Rose Lip and Eye Remover, which I used a lot to remove my eye makeup or like lip tints and things like that. And I like to use a separate lip and eye remover before I oil cleanse, because sometimes I feel like oil cleansing doesn't really remove makeup well and you have to rub it a lot into your eyes area, which is not really my thing. So I prefer to use something like this in advance before oil cleansing. And after I finished this, I was gifted one from Shiseido, which I'm currently using, but I feel like somehow they are all some kind of similar in some ways, because for me there's only two types of lip and eye makeup removers: the one that leave like residue onto your face, like the oily feel, and the ones that don't. For me, if they don't, I already like them if they can remove makeup well. So yeah, that's the only thing they need to do for me, and this one does the job really well. It's really cheap and affordable, and it comes in like eau marine smell as well, but this one is rose, and yeah, I liked it. It's not like anything special, but it's a good lip and eye makeup remover. So yeah, I would recommend this. And then for my oil cleansers, I used two mainly this year. The one I finished I actually thrown out, but it was the Holika All Kill Foam to Fresh. Oh no, Foam to Moisture. There are two different ones. I used both the Foam to Fresh and the Foam to Moisture one, and for me they are kind of similar. Only thing is that the Foam to Fresh, it smells a bit more soapy, but I don't think the Foam to Moisture is really more moisturizing than the Foam to Fresh. But anyhow, I really enjoyed using both of those in my two-step cleansing. And I always used it together with my Cosrx Low pH Good Morning Gel Cleanser, or, which I'm currently still using, the Benton, what is the name again? There's only one foam cleanser of Benton, but that one I really love. I will put it somewhere here. So I use the Low pH Good Morning Gel Cleanser, or the Benton one. Benton one I'm still using, and I love to use that in the shower as well. But the Low pH Good Morning Gel Cleanser by Cosrx I finished as well. And yeah, I think it really worked well for me. I did like this, but I honestly like the Benton one better, because I feel even though the Benton one has a bit of a high pH level, it doesn't irritate my dry and sensitive skin, which is kind of like a miracle, I guess. But it feels really gentle, and I just like the texture of that, which is really creamy and smooth. I like it over the Cosrx one, so I feel like I'm going to offend a lot of people with this. But yeah, just my personal opinion. I did like this, but not as much as the Benton one. But I did completely finish this. Then to one of my favorite categories, which is toners. I use a lot of toners because I'm more of a person who likes to layer their toners and then skip the essences instead of using an essence. So I really love moisturizing toners. That's really something I look for in a toner as well. And because I have rosacea but also acne prone skin, it must be calming and hydrating and cooling as well. So I had a couple this year. I finished the Cosrx Centella Water Alcohol-Free Toner. And there's a lot of alcohol-free toners out there, good Korean ones. So it's not that just because this says alcohol-free, the other ones all contain alcohol. All the websites out there, they have the ingredient list overall as well. So you can just search for that. But yeah, I love this one. This was really soothing and calming. And I love the kind of spray toners, which are really my favorite. And I tend to, after I cleanse, I tend to spray this on a cotton pad and then swipe it all over my face. And then I'll check if there's any residue left, which if you do good cleansing, there shouldn't be. But if there's any residue left, the cotton pad will swipe it all away. And then after the cotton swipe, I just use my hands and I spray this onto my hands and then pat it in again. And sometimes, depending on how moisturizing the toner is, I do it again. But yeah, that's just how I like to use my toner. So that one was good, but not really 100% moisturizing. I feel like it's more like a calming, soothing and acne preventing kind of toner instead of like a really moisturizing one. But yeah, overall I did enjoy this. I have a lot of toners. This is like the category where I have the most products. Sheet mask obviously not included. So then to my, I think this is my, no, this is my second favorite or shared first place toner. It's the Pyunkang Mist Toner. And even though they have Essence Toner as well, which is supposed to be more moisturizing than this one, I really love this. And this is already my second bottle. And I have like about this much left. So I thought I could include this in this one, even though it's not 100% finished. But yeah, I love this. This is so soothing, calming. It has almost no scent, which I can appreciate. And yeah, the ingredients in here feel really moisturizing. So I do want to try the Essence Toner still to see if this is more moisturizing or the Essence Toner. But I really love spray type of toners because of my two-step toning kind of process. Spraying toners fit really well in that process. So yeah, in that way I really love this. This was really hydrating, and even this is 200 ml, doesn't seem like much, but it really goes a long way. I use toners like in the morning, nighttime, I use the same toner and I double tone or do the layering tone kind of process. So I tend to go to my toners really quickly, but this one lasted me quite a while and I love it. It doesn't irritate my skin. So yeah, this is like shared first place together with my Troiareuke Skin Complex formula. And you can see I have 2 of these finished. And I mixed these together with the Troiareuke Anti-Trouble Ampoule, which I also finished 2 of them. But they are glass bottles, so I tend to keep them separate. I mixed these 2 together with the Anti-Trouble formula, but you can mix it together with any type of serum you have. It's just that the Troiareuke serums are really watery, so they tend to mix well with this type of toner. And the only thing that I don't like about this is the packaging. Even though both these are like very simple packaging, I think it looks kind of like the hair serum type of packaging. So I think for Troiareuke, especially since you pay a bit more of a high price, I think they could improve their packaging. So I hope somehow in the future they will. But I really love this. I use this just as much almost as water. I spray this when I come out of the shower, and I spray this on a cotton pad, wipe my face with it, then spray it on my hand and pat it in and then layer it. And it really calms my skin, and I love this. Share first place with this one. Both very moisturizing and calming. So if you're looking for a toner which is calming but doesn't irritate or congest your acne prone skin, then I would recommend these. So then for the last 2 toners, I had them separate because they're like the toning pad type of toners / exfoliating products. So I have both the One Step Moisture Up Pad by Cosrx and the One Step Pimple Clear Pad. Just look like this. And honestly, for me, because my skin is really dry, I love this more than I love this one because of the, I think, salicylic acid and the tea tree. And I also have a cleanser already with salicylic acid in there. It was a bit too much for me, and I don't like the smell of tea tree, and this smells of tea tree really heavily, so that's not my kind of thing. But the One Step Moisture Up Pad smells really fresh and not that fragrant as this one. I just can't really handle smells on my face for that long, so especially tea tree smell, which can smell like really pungent. So even though this didn't work for me, I have a lot of friends who have more oily skin which prefer this one way over this one. I love to use this, throw this in my gym bag and just swipe it over my face to make sure like excess oil and sweat are like not congesting my pores. And I love to use this when I come out of the shower as well, because my skin needs a lot of moisture, I feel like. So yeah, I love these. These were my, I preferred this one over this one, but maybe just because my skin is a bit more dry. I think if you have oily skin, this would work better for you. But both of them completely finished. Even though these are finished and there are like 70 pads in here, you can also cut them in half because there's a lot of essence soaked into these. So even like with half a pad, you can really swipe them over your face well, and I feel like there's enough essence in there to cut them in half and still be efficient. So that was for my toner category. I don't really have anything, I believe, in the exfoliating category. I do somehow, after these pads, I think I should include these. These are the Holika Makeup Starter, and these are basically also like same kind of pads, exfoliating pads as are in the top from Cosrx or comparable to the Neogen pads. But I really love these. These are with AHA, so they exfoliate really gently, and they are supposed to be used before makeup so that afterwards your makeup glides on really smoothly and it's just more, the skin texture is less rough. But I use this at nighttime, morning. I love using this. I always take these with me on a trip because they are so easy to use and they are packaged separately. I think this is around $2 or so, so I think it's a bit more expensive in the end than these type of ones which come in a whole tub. But if I have to choose like one great exfoliating pad, this is definitely my favorite, and I think it's mentioned nowhere. And I love this so much. This smells so great, and there's quite a high AHA content in here, I believe. So yeah, I really love this. If I use them before applying makeup, it glides on really well and my skin doesn't look flaky, or if I have dry patches, it smooths them out really well without being like too harsh on the skin. So these I would definitely recommend, even to only buy one to try. Yeah, they are a little more expensive if you compare them with those who come in the tub, but I really do love these. And for me, Holika is just such an underrated brand. I love their cleansers as well, and I love these pads and their sheet masks. So yeah, you should definitely try these out. My other exfoliators, since I have such sensitive skin and my rosacea can really flare up when I do like physical exfoliation, I tend to go for these type of pads, or when I cleanse I just use something like with texture to exfoliate gently on a daily basis, or like chemical products with AHA or to exfoliate my skin instead of like a physical exfoliator. That's why this category isn't really like huge compared to the rest, but I hope you don't mind. I only used one, or emptied out one, which is the popular Missha Time Revolution First Treatment Essence, and I did really love this. And even though it changed my skin texture really well. Kind of stopped using it, and after I did stop using it, I didn't feel much of a difference, I thought at first. But then after 2 weeks I felt my skin texture really changing, so I started using this again. And yeah, I love this. It really helps me like smooth out my skin texture, and this is really known for their skin cell turnover technology with all the fermented ingredients in there. And it might take a while for your skin to get used to that if you haven't used any like of these kind of ingredients before. But I think for me in the end it worked out really well, and even though my skin is really sensitive, it didn't hate it. And I finished the whole bottle and I'm on my second one now, but they changed it to the moist version, which I like a bit less, but somehow still works out for me. So yeah. On to moisturizers. I finished two. I finished this one, which is the Troiareuke A.G.T Hydro Essence, and the A.G.T stands for Amino Gel Technique. This is like a really multi-use product. I've heard people using this as a sleeping pack. It's really like a hair gel consistency, and it hydrates the skin so well. And you can either slather on a lot of it and use it as a sleeping pack, or just as a really heavy moisturizer, or you can slather just a little bit as your morning moisturizer and then apply makeup on afterwards. Both work really great, and it is really moisturizing. Also, the packaging looks a bit, the packaging looks a bit boring as well, but I think it's just fitting their unisex kind of concept. And yeah, somehow it works out. I just love the product too much to say anything bad about it, except for the packaging. But yeah, I'm on my third one of this actually, and I've been using this so much. The packaging of 50 ml is really great for traveling too. And yeah, the other one I used is also a glass bottle, so I threw it out because I separate all of those. But it was the Pyunkang Nutrition Cream, which was really great for my skin, and is more of a thick cream consistency instead of this one, which is really a gel. So it's more what type of consistency you prefer. Since my skin is really dry, I tend to go for the cream type more often, but this one was really moisturizing, and I think all skin types can really enjoy this. If you're oily skin, I think you will appreciate the lightweight consistency of this one. But for me, I think I prefer the Pyunkang Nutrition Cream over this. It's just because, keeping in mind the price point of the Pyunkang cream and this one, and the Pyunkang lasted me like over 3 or 4 months. Even together with my boyfriend, he uses it as well. So yeah, I think that one is definitely a winner for me. I loved it. I love using it. I kind of miss it now. I don't use this anymore, even though this is so moisturizing. So again, Pyunkang shared first place with Troiareuke. On to serums. I have two here. I have the Elizavecca Help Pore Control Hyaluronic Acid 79%. And I have the Missha Time Revolution Night Repair New Science Activator Ampoule, which is this one, obviously really popular one. And even though they are both really different, this is like really cheap but really moisturizing. I don't know why it's called Help Pore, because it doesn't do anything for your pores, because it's really highly concentrated with hyaluronic acid. So it's really moisturizing, and the price point, I think it's around $12 or so, and this will last you quite a while. So I think price quality wise, this is a really good serum. I did have, I don't know if you can see that, it has a bit of crystallization here because the dropper sucks really bad. They should definitely change the packaging, because somehow it always drops around the top of the bottle, and then it tends to crystallize up here if you don't clean it really well. Sometimes it's also difficult to close after it has crystallized. So if they would change the packaging, I would give this like a 10 out of 10. But because the dropper is kinda, it really sucks, I will give this a 9. Still, I love this over even the popular Missha one, which I felt like was really working well for my like premature fine lines on my forehead. But furthermore, it didn't really do anything for me in the moisture department, which is really important for me. So I gave this to Chinny, and he really likes this as an anti-aging serum. So for him it works out really well, but for me I just need something which is really moisturizing, and this one is not really it. I think obviously you could get moisture from an essence or like a standard moisturizer, but yeah, and just use this as an anti-aging serum, then it would be great too, I guess. Then onto sheet masks. I didn't save up all my sheet masks this year because that would, all the bottles flying here, because that would be a bit weird. I have some of my favorites here, which are the Skinfood Centella Asiatica mask. I always use this one when my skin is really inflamed or when I have a lot of breakouts going on. I also like to cut up this mask into pieces and then leave it on my trouble areas overnight. If you do cut them really small, they will stay onto your skin even at nighttime. So that's really a good breakout fixer for me. So, and this is really cheap. I love this. It's a really good mask and a really good price value. And then other favorite is the Skinfood Skin Purifying Real Seaweed's Mask Sheet, which is this one. Also a great one for controlling and handling breakouts. Another one from Moly, which is Skin Purifying. I feel like instead of skin purifying, this is more brightening, because every time I use this I feel like my skin, like hyperpigmentation spots, look a lot lighter. So in that way I really love this, but it's a bit different than what is on the packaging, but still one of my favorites. Then I have a couple of these, which are the Klairs Rich Moist Soothing Sheet Mask, which I loved in the moisture department. These are really cheap and they are really soothing, calming, moisturizing. So if you're looking for a moisturizing sheet mask at a good price point, these were my favorite moisturizing ones. And then onto my all-time favorite sheet mask, which is the Benton Snail Bee High Content Mask Pack. I've even finished this year like 2 or 3 boxes of this, because this is like, it's a miracle worker for me. Every time I'm at some kind of event and I have a sudden breakout or didn't sleep well, and you can really see that my skin is really tired or inflamed or have some kind of breakout going on from eating bad, sleeping bad, or those kind of things, this is just a miracle worker overnight. I put this on before I go to sleep, leave it on for like 10-15 minutes. Next morning my skin looks so bright, the breakouts are a lot less, and I don't know, but this really calms my skin so well. It doesn't irritate my rosacea areas, and I really love using this. So this is like my all-time favorite sheet mask of this year. That's why I finished so many of these. For spot care, I obviously have the Cosrx Acne Pimple Master Patches. I tend to pop these on my areas which I already have popped a pimple, and it tends to calm my skin, prevents me from picking on those, and it just heals much quicker, I believe. So yeah, I love this as well. Even the new versions, which are the thinner ones, they are pretty good as well. You can put them on the makeup, so I love both of those. And then for body and hair care, I have the It's Skin Mojito Body Lotion. This one. I love this so much. I think this is fragrance and paraben free, if I believe it. Oh no, there's fragrance in here, but it's the last ingredient. But it is paraben free, and this smells so nice. It smells like actual limes and lemons, and it's so refreshing and nurturing. So I really loved using this, and we both have been loving this. And then onto my final product, which is a hair care product. I have the April Skin Turn Up Color Cream, which was my Korean hair cream experiment for this year. I used up 2 of these to get this kind of color, and I've washed it now 3 times or so, and I did it myself, so it's not really even. I have some parts like here where my hair is still a bit blonde brown, so it didn't really take well on some parts, but on other parts it really worked well. So overall I was pretty content with this. I have more blueness going on here, and even though it's not that even, looks pretty cool, I guess. So yeah, I love to see how this one will work up towards the end of the year and see if it is still on my hair for New Year's Eve. It's supposed to last up to 2 weeks, so we'll see about that. But so far I really love this. The packaging is all complete. There's nothing else you need to buy because there's gloves. I did say in my video there's no gloves in the package, but there is. I saw later that it dropped on the floor, so that's my problem. But there's gloves in there, there's a comb in there, there's even like this thing you can put over to prevent all of your clothes getting dirty. So it's really complete packaging, and for dyeing your hair at home, I think you can really try this out. It's not permanent, so if you want to get some kind of unicorn hair, they have this in a lot of colors, pink as well. So I think it's something you can easily try out without having too much regret or something. But I would recommend trying this out with somebody together, because dyeing your own hair with these kind of things is a bit difficult, especially if you have really long hair, or like my hair length is already long enough to not try it yourself, because it's a bit difficult to get it all even. So yeah, these were all the products I used and finished this year. Might seem like not that much, but I have all of the important products in here, which were really my favorites throughout this year. So even though this is a bit different than the other like top 10 or top 20 K-beauty videos you might have seen on YouTube, I thought I should just show you what I have finished and if I loved it or not. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that too. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Happy New Year. Bye.
Damn.